Alright, Matt's got this cab all unbolted. We've set up some 2x4s on our lift along the rocker panels. We'll be able to lift the cab off of this. Then what we're going to do is take this chassis, because there are some small differences. We can push this chassis back there, push this one out. There's a couple of little brackets and things like that I got to change. But we'll be able to get a good look underneath this cab now. What we're eventually going to do is lay it on its back and have Davey come and sandblast the bottom and everywhere you see rust. Then we can kind of properly evaluate what's going on, because there's going to be some fabrication in here. So,
oh, for sure.
let's see. Go on.
We can do it over there.
So far.
I'll blame it on Auburn.
Well, we should. There it is.
That'll be it.
So, we got a floor support on this side we got to do.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Bad, or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's got to be replaced.
Back corners.
This one's pretty good. We can save this cab. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I think we're good.
Yeah. We got a little bit of funkiness we'll have to take care of, but
Yeah.
it's nothing we haven't seen before.
Well, not worse.
Yeah.
On Mike's Mustang, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
hit for this.
Oh, Mike's Mustang was a rusty, nasty thing.
Good
As
to
is
see you
this.
again, Mike, at the
Yep.
local.
We hope you all went to the Oktoberfest there and bought some curly fries off of Mike and June.
Yeah, that was good too.
We were going to, I was kind of hoping for celebrity treatment, get some delivered out the back door, but I didn't want to bother nobody. So now we'll shove this out of the way. And what we're going to do is we're going to disassemble this motor. We're not going to crack it open, but we're going to disassemble this motor as much as we need to anything that we see that might be leaking, and then detail it all up and put it in his truck so it's new. Makes it easy to get the motor out now, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now here's the chassis that we're going to use for this truck. As you can see, it's dirty. We got to take it out and wash it, but got a fuel tank strap. I have a new fuel tank and the rear strap coming. A bunch of other stuff I got coming for this chassis, so we can get it ready to go. And then here's Rob's chassis for his 86 GMC. So now we can pull the motor, tranny, transfer case, get that all dialed in. Steering box apparently is new, but it's got a little bit of rust on it. But everything else I've already replaced on the other chassis. We've got to change the e-brake routing here. And I mean, if you look, even its fuel lines there was just, see that? That's all it would have taken was a bump, done. So
That didn't happen when I was over here grinding.
I know, right? But I mean, that's just the condition of this truck. I'm sure brake lines are exactly the same. Where just a little bit of wiggle is going to bust them open. You saw how easy I did that fuel line. That could have been
One railroad track away.
yeah, one railroad track away from kaboom. But
And then hopefully that train didn't have a whole lot of fuel and stuff on it too.
can you imagine if it was a train load of matches? Poof, it would have been disaster. But we'll probably, maybe before we take this out of here, we can push it out and pressure wash it. That way Matt's able to do it in a white lab coat and get it apart. But we'll clean it all up. We checked it out. We did drive the truck. Shifts perfect. Goes in and out of four-wheel drive, no problem. And it just absolutely runs spectacular. So we don't really have to do any mechanical work on this truck other than switching it over to the new chassis. And then we'll be able to do, I ordered a full exhaust system for it, the factory style exhaust with the 2 tailpipes on the driver's side. This isn't getting headers, it's not getting cutouts, it's not getting a big cam. It's going to be as a 1986 truck would have been sitting on the dealership lot.
It's still new. It's 36,000 miles.
Yeah, it's still, I mean, the thing's just out of warranty.
This Chevy motor, this Chevy motor brand new.
Yep, pretty much 36,000 miles on a small block Chevy. Granted, it's only a 305, but this is not a race truck. It's not anything other than a truck. I mean, you can go and spend X amount of dollars buying a brand new truck, or you can get one done that you love and know and have history and family with and so forth, and it'll be new. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to do a little more disassembly. Like I said, we'll probably wash it up. I got the sandblaster coming. We're going to try and make a dolly for that cab to put the dolly on so we can blast the bottom of it. My biggest point of concern on this truck is this rear cross member, because this is actually made into the floor, but it includes this piece here. So that's going to be a big deal. We'll have to see what's going on with that.
Yeah, seat belts and those are the body mount bolts too.
Right, because those are going to be important.
Yeah.
And then you got some rust in here, but once we blast it, we'll know better with what we're dealing with, how thin this ended up becoming, if we've got to fab anything up to put in here. This is crusty, but once it's blasted, I don't think we've lost a lot of structure on that. You know, a lot of this may turn out to be, we're going to do both front floor supports. That's easy enough, and those need to be done.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the extent of the big rust underneath this cap. And I think this is actually going to end up coming out pretty nice. So, but it's cool when we get it apart, we're able to see exactly what we're dealing with. A lot of flake, a lot of scale. It was not a factory undercoated truck, which is kind of weird that the floors aren't shot, given the amount of rust that was on the chassis and some of the structural stuff we got going on here. You know, they weren't really big on drainage and things like that. You see, newer vehicles don't really rust so much unless you're in the snow belt where you're using salt and beet juice and whatever else it is that they use. Yeah, I guess I'll go to Lowe's and get some wood and make a dolly. We got a lot of dollies. Like a little girl, we have a lot of dollies. But we did a car show this weekend. We didn't enter anything in it, but we walked around for a while and saw some of the cars. We are in a huge.
We worked on a few of them.
We did a few of the
Did I
ones.
mention I ran into the Nash?
I did. I saw Niles up there with his Nash, and then Mike with the Mustang, Wendell Marlowe's Monte Carlo.
No, I seen him last night down the road.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Upside down?
No.
No. Okay.
In the
So
parking lot.
okay. So the brakes are working pretty good then. All right.
His wife is in there with him. They're cruising. They're
Yeah.
moving.
Cruising the Nash.
They put curve finders on it.
I saw them at the show,
Yeah.
but they're like that high. So unless you're going up against a building, they're Niles. You got to lower them curb finders a little bit. But anyway, okay. That's that. So now, like I said, we'll get that straightened up. But
Something similar to that.
yeah. But a bunch of cars at the car show. Haven't talked to anybody today to find out if we got any trophies. That's not what it's all about. What it's all about is it's kind of cool getting something down this far, and we get to make it new.
Niles did win.
Did he?
Yeah, because he was the only car.
He
in
was
the
the only
class.
car in his class.
Mhm.
Which, hey,
He got
if
the
you got a
trophy.
54 Nash Ambassador, you deserve to be the only person in
That's
your
it.
class. So good for him. He got a trophy on that car. Wendell usually takes a trophy for best engine because that is a 555 cubic inch big block is kind of
Nasty.
that's kind of nasty. Yeah. And
It
if
looks
he
good too.
yeah, and if he doesn't win, when he starts it, they take the trophy from the guy that did win and then give it to him. So we'll take care of that. We'll get some stuff cleaned up and we'll catch you back here shortly. Enjoy the commercial.
Got the motor out, obviously. Got all the wiring harness from the motor, from the starter all the way back to the tail lights. Got all the wiring harness. I went ahead and took the flywheel off so I can get it mounted up. And one of the last things we'll do is rear main seal. It's hard to get to the rear main because it's on the stand. But just like the 289, we're going to start up front and work our way to the top, and then flip it over and pull the. That kind of hurt. Pull the oil pan off. We're gonna just reseal this motor up and prep everything, get it good and clean, and paint her up like the little 302 on the plastic over there. So when I get done with this motor right here, it's gonna look something like this. But everything is gonna be original. Everything's staying original on that motor. Everything. It ain't getting no fancy chrome, nothing that on the front. It's just getting original parts. Just like it come off the showroom floor back in 1986 is what it's gonna look like. We're gonna put exhaust manifolds back on it, but not those, because they're rusted. They got holes rusted through.
Yeah.
And all the bolts, I cut them because they're gonna be stuck. But yeah, we'll go ahead and start taking the front of the motor apart and start working on these exhaust manifold bolts. What we do have to do is get these bolts out without breaking them, because
You don't want to tap them.
there ain't gonna be no machine work done on this. So if we break one, it'll be up to me to get it out, and I really don't want to deal with it.
And last time he tried to do that,
Poke my eye out. So we'll get Austin loosen up a tensioner bolt like we did on the other, remember? On 289, you loosen this tensioner bolt here, loosen this bolt right here, pull that belt off. There's a tensioner right here, and then there's your pivot bolt. Loosen both of them, get that belt off. This one right here is your tensioner. You loosen it, and then loosen the back of this, and your belt will come off. Did y'all get that? Or was you not pointing the camera at my fingers?
I'm pointing at your fingers.
Okay.
Are you taking the holding apart?
Everything. We're going to pull the belts off first.
Yep.
Once we get the belts off, we'll start with the alternator bracket. And just like the 289, the alternator bracket bolt is also a water pump bolt. Well, no it ain't, but it bolts the water pump. Power steering bolt goes through the water pump, and so does the small pump right here.
So you're saying I tried to undo one bolt, and then when I looked up, you have half of the engine dismantled.
Well, that's because I know what I'm doing. And you're learning pretty fast. You're a pretty good learner. But that's about it. We'll update you here shortly. Give you a little time lapse of this, and hopefully Austin will have the right angle so you can see what we're doing. But
Yeah, every time I try to get an angle, they always say, not there, and a zoom come out.
because
They tell me to put it back where I had it.
because you're standing in the way, or somebody is. But anyway, ain't no need in arguing on YouTube about it.
But that's what they like, man. That's what they like.
They like for us to mess with you.
What?
They like for us to mess with you.
Yeah. I'm willing to sacrifice that.
Sacrifice yourself.
Not that way.
I didn't say sell yourself. I said sacrifice. Either way. Cut that thing off, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, look, kitty. Look, she's about to attack the wire.
Hey, Raid. Cut.
Bye.